It's kind of fun to watch the attendee list go up. Hello, everybody starting to join us. Oh yeah, you'll have to click on the participants thing at the bottom if you want to see the names.
Oh, okay. Let's see something up.
We'll just wait a few more, maybe another minute and let a few more folks join us. We're getting up there already. Already our first question and we haven't started.
I think I saw that was Paul Bubb, Amy, and we're not no questions from Paul today.
I agree. He's permanently muted. Why don't we go ahead and get started? It's just right about 1:01 and we're getting up into the 40, 50 mark of attendees. So thank you everybody very much for joining us. We appreciate it on this exciting Purple and Gold Day of Caring. Already had a great morning full of participating sessions so far with the president and a few other folks, but excited to be joined this afternoon with our head football coach, Jared Elliott, and former Leatherneck superstar, Super Bowl champ, Khalen Saunders. So thank you both for being with us today.
Yeah, of course, no problem. No problem.
Thanks for having us.
As we go, those that are participating, you'll see that there is a Q&A button in the Zoom meeting. So if you want to ask a question, we already apologize in advance that we may not be able to answer all your questions, but feel free to submit. In the meantime, we're going to get started. I'm just going to throw it out to both of you if you want to just share, just a little bit about some opening comments, and then especially if you could follow that with maybe how you two met, and then Khalen, how you ended up at Western.
I'll kind of start us off and just, right now opening thoughts on, we're experiencing a lot of trying times and circumstances that I don't think anyone would predict, where we are right now and, a month ago. But it's been amazing to see not only how all of our communities have come together here in Macomb and all over the country, but the Leatherneck family and the Leatherneck community. And, I think that there's so much power in our nickname and who we are as Leathernecks and what we embody and who we are and what we represent, and to see that unity and the strength and locking arms and the service and how everyone has been helping each other as we get through these difficult times. It's been amazing to see. I'm very encouraged about where we are right now as a football program. We've had our fair share of obstacles and adversity and the things that we're dealing with, but all of our players are scattered around the country back in, at their homes. Our coaching staff is working from home. But I have been very proud. Our guys are finding a way to get better every day, and academically we're making very good progress, and our guys are working out on their own with whatever resources they have. I know Khalen's in that same boat, but everyone's just trying to find a way to get better and stare down the virus, and we're looking forward to hopefully this passing sooner and later and us being able to get back together again. But I will turn it over to Khalen.
Yeah, about the same speed, man. It's been very, very hard. I was actually out in California at my training facility when all of this first got out of started going crazy, and it's scary. Obviously, it's something that I've never dealt with, and I'm sure a lot of other people have never dealt with. But you know, I think that, like you said, it's been amazing to see everybody kind of lock arms and you know, defeat this as one and kind of unite, and that's been very special to watch. But you know, I do think it will pass over, and we can hopefully get back out and get back to normal living sooner or later. But yeah, for right now, I think that it's most important that we just, you know, kind of do things like this, events like this, to help people get through the day. You know, all those stay-at-home moms that are now swamped with 4 and 5 kids. You know, I completely understand that, and you know, hopefully things like this can bring light and smiles to everybody's faces.
And I'll also, you know, I know Amy had asked us how we met, and Khalen, you might see it a different way as me, but I still remember when we first got here to Western, I was the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, and I kept hearing about this great defensive lineman that we had and how athletic he was and how good of a basketball player and all this and that. And I still remember, it might have been the second day on the job, we were watching videotape from the previous year, and as an offensive guy, I wasn't watching the defensive clips, but I remember one of our defensive coaches come down saying, "Hey, you guys got to watch this guy." And we started watching him, and instantly the creative bug started flowing when we watched a 320-pound guy doing the stuff that he was doing on videotape. So that's when the whole Khalen Saunders packages started to evolve. You know, we went back and we watched his high school tape. And he's playing running back and receiver and tight end, and so you know that's kind of where it all started. You know, in terms of us incorporating Khalen as that glorified fullback, and still the only defensive lineman in Leatherneck history to run a touchdown and catch a touchdown. And so, but that's the first time I ever heard of Khalen Saunders.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny. Definitely, that was definitely the introduction. You know, we kind of when we start transitioning that coaching staff. I just remember, you know, you guys approaching me and being like, you know, you got to step into this role now, because I think that was going into my redshirt sophomore year.
Yes.
I was just about to even starting. Like my redshirt freshman year. You know, I got my playing time, but I wasn't quite starting yet. And I just remember, you know, you guys kind of tell me, hey, you know, it's time to get ready to be a leader on this team and get ready to grow up and come into your role. And so I do appreciate that. You know, that was something I'll never forget. I always, even going into the draft process and the combine interviews and all of that, I always tell them that story about, you know, how I had to step up into that role. And it was the best thing for me.
Yeah, no question. Khalen, let's do this. Why don't you tell, you know, and I know, you know, it's obviously been a major jump from college to the NFL, and not only drafted in the 3rd round and, you know, getting to stay in your home state, but also going on to win a Super Bowl and win one as a rookie and play with some of the better players in the National Football League. And just kind of outline what this first year kind of looked like for you and the relationships you've built and all that.
Yeah. No, and it's been, first and foremost, what I will say is from, I would say, about your going into your senior year. So like, you know, that spring ball and summer going into your senior year till about now, you're working. Like it's complete nonstop. I mean, grind day in, day out. Like, we start, you know, obviously, if you're one of the guys who want to get into the NFL or want to get a shot of getting drafted or something like that, you got to start like that. That last year is like a full year for you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to going in that spring ball and going into summer training and stuff like that. You always got to look at it from a different view, because there is no. You remember what I always say, like, there's no guaranteed football after this. Yep. I remember I said that in a couple meetings, you know, before some games. I said that to the team, man. But I truly mean that. Like, you know, even myself, like, yeah, I'm on a team and stuff right now, but each year after this, I mean, you don't know. Like, you don't know if it can be your last year playing football, and you never even knew that. So, you know, what I say to seniors, and not even just a Western, but any senior that's playing football, like, you know, that going into that senior year and approaching it, man, you gotta really get into it and lock in. So I think from around there, throughout the season, and then after the season in December, once I graduated, man, it's been nonstop, man. Going from that, playing to going into the Senior Bowl, that's a big piece of it. Like getting into that senior all-star game so you can get one more opportunity to play against good competition and the best in the nation and prove, where you rank along those guys. So that was huge for me. And then training, getting ready for the combine, like, man, it's a string of events that it does not stop. And so, you get ready for all of that. You finally get to the team you're going to get to. And then we went right into the season, man. Like, there was no like, all right, let's get them acclimated. Like, no, it was, we got there. I got drafted. It was a little grace period. Like, oh, congratulations. And then like maybe 2 weeks later, it's like, all right, now what are you going to contribute to this team? And man, that stuff, like, it gets real, especially that rookie mini camp.
Yeah. That honeymoon phase, man, it ends quickly now.
It does. It ends very quickly. And so, but you finally getting acclimated and just getting back to playing football. But it's almost like, you imagine like translating to like a language, like a Spanish class. You're in Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, and you can communicate, effectively to what you want to do. But then you get to Spanish 3 and Spanish 4, and you're like throwing in all these crazy adjectives and saying stuff like slang talking and stuff like that. And that's really how football is, like, at the next level. Because, in college football, I might know what a double team looks like, and I might know, what some verbiage is. But, man, when it's here, it's like it's almost expected. Like, if a coach is saying something and he says a word you don't know, it's like, why didn't you know that, rookie? Like, I'm like, oh, look, coach, I'm sorry. Like, it's crazy, man. But yeah, I definitely feel like it was a good, obviously winning the Super Bowl the first year, you wouldn't want to trade that for anything, obviously. But I think the really beneficial part of all of that and of winning the Super Bowl my first year is I get to see what it feels like to be done at the highest level, and I always say I'm kind of spoiled in that regard because, I went my first year, so I know what it feels like and looks like to be on the championship team. But at the same time, now every time I don't win a Super Bowl, it's like a disappointment. So, I mean, it's there's pluses and minuses to that. But yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been, I talk to you a lot throughout the year. With our calls when we check in with each other, and man, it's still to this day, man. It's that excitement I called you with from that first call till now. It's just like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, Kat, you're right on it though. It's a game. It's just like life. You wake up every day, you're blessed. And it's so easy to get stuck and caught up in the daily routine or the monotony of our schedules. But football, there's so many parallels to life, like we talk about, a lot.
Right.
Taking it for granted, man. That's one of them. Right. It's day by day. It's a day by day NFL league. That's how it is. It's cutthroat, and it's the same at anything we do. But I tell you this, what we're going through right now, with the COVID and everyone's at home and kind of how our normal lives have been altered and changed so much. The biggest thing I've seen with the kids on the team right now on our roster is just, it's our guys like, man, not taking it for granted because you miss it. You miss, hey, we didn't have spring ball. Man, how much you miss it when you don't have it.
Exactly.
Being in the locker room right after a practice or, all those little things that you do, you just take for granted. And then, when it's taken away from you, you kind of step back and it makes you that much more grateful and appreciative of it.
Yeah, that's 100%, man. Like, obviously I'm still close with some of the guys on the team, and I still talk to those guys back at Western, and even then, like, some of those guys even I'm talking to, and they're like, man, like, we always mess around and be like, man, I can't wait till we ain't got to wake up for 5 a.m. workouts, all of it. But like now, it's like, man, I wish something was waking me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you do anything to have that. Yeah.
I'm getting tired of waking up whenever I want to. Like, you know, it's losing its steam. So, you know, I think everybody, you know, like all the guys I talk to that still are there, you know, they're just like, you know, whenever they come back, and that's one thing I will say that's positive. Everybody's keeping a positive attitude about it. You know, it's not, everyone knows it's not going to last forever. We'll eventually get back to being able to do what we want to do, but for right now, man, it makes you almost that much more motivated to want to work your tail off and get to the best you can get to, because, you know, when you get back, you don't know if you can, that season you played, that might be your last one. Something like this happens again. You know what I mean? So it's it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right, Kay, let me ask you this now. All right, take the Super Bowl out of it. All right, what was that one moment throughout the rookie year? All right, I know, man, you played a lot of football as a rookie. You were in a lot of great stadiums. Arrowhead Stadium, one of the best atmospheres in all of athletics and all of sport. But what was that one moment that you were like, man, this is real, or that one play or whatever it is that really stood out to you, taking the Super Bowl out of it?
Well, I would say there's like different sections, like so I would say my first like moment where I was kind of like, wow, you know, I'm an actual NFL player, was when we had a couple D-line go down in those first couple weeks, and that's, if you remember, that's when I first started playing. So when we played the Houston Texans, I was a starter. And so, you know, because we had like 2 defensive linemen go down. Yeah. And, man, getting introduced out of that tunnel, oh, no, that was I was like I just got chills even saying that. But, like, actually, if you can see, that's that picture right there, that's my introduction picture from the tunnel. And, man, it was crazy. Like, you know, like all that smoke, and then, you know, when they – from Western Illinois, defensive lineman Khalen, man, that, like, my heart dropped down to my toes, man. Like, it's crazy. And then they cheer. They're all happy for you coming out the tunnel. And that was the moment, like, personally, where I was like, this is amazing. You know, I'm in the NFL. But then as far as, like, other people on the field, obviously playing with the best offense in the league, you know, you're going to see some stuff where it's like, these are professional players. And I've seen Pat Mahomes throw some stuff, even in practice, that's just like, you know, it's otherworldly. Like, there's no reason why to contort this angle and throw it 45 yards on the dot, like stuff like that. Or even like Tyreek Hill, that's one of the most explosive, amazing offensive players I've ever seen in my life. Like, he actually, I think our first game, he got injured, and he was coming off of an injury like week maybe 4 or 5 or something. So he was just doing scout offensive team stuff. Like, he wasn't even, you know, with the first strings, with the starters and nothing. And this guy was on scout offense, and, you know, this is around the time I was starting still. I mean, he was shredding our defense. Like, and this is like a 75% Tyreek Hill. And so that was another one. I'm like, how are these people like this? Like, but you know, just the people I see in the room, like every day, you know, I'm blessed to go to meetings and be surrounded by absolute greatness. Like, you know, Tyrann Mathieu, to name one, Frank Clark, Chris Jones. You know, like, I look around in my defensive unit room and know Frank Clark sitting right next to me, and you know what I mean? Like, that type of stuff I don't take for granted. But, you know, that's just defense, because our defense is supposedly the less area, you know, of our room. Sure. So, you come in. Yeah. But yeah, and then so I think that, and then seeing just like I said, Pat he's like a cheat code in this game. So those are definitely moments as far as seeing. And then the last thing I would say is playing. Like, man, you obviously, you know, playing in a game, you get to see different people. But I think my first game I ever touched the field in was against the Indianapolis Colts. And I don't know if you guys know, but there's a guy by the name of Quentin Nelson that plays guard for the Indianapolis Colts. Oh, my God. He's one of the best guards in the NFL. Yeah. And that was my first game ever touching the field. That was the game that Chris Jones and Xavier Williams went down. So
Yeah.
this is actually my first game dressing. So I was just excited about having a uniform on. Like, I didn't even think nothing of playing. And then, Chris went down with a calf. X went down with an ankle. And next thing I know, I'm hearing 9-9, you up. I'm just looking like, hold on, like, I'm up doing what? You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no snaps, So you got to be ready. You got to be ready to get thrown into the fire. And but I got in there. I learned some lessons from Quentin Nelson. I made maybe like 2 plays where I didn't even make the tackle. I just defeated the block and was happy about that. You know what I mean? So, like, you gotta get ready quick. But that, playing against him, that was one of the craziest I played against. Not playing against him, but just looking up to see, like, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Obviously, those are 2 names that even if you don't watch football, those 2 people. And for me to play defensive tackle, my hand is in the dirt right in front of this guy's face. Like, especially when I'm lined up in front of the center. So I'm, in my 3-point stance, and right in front of me is Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, like, making checks. And that was mind blowing. I almost forgot that I was playing in the game right there.
Well, I'm going to say this now, okay? I mean, 3 years I tried to run an offense against you, and we couldn't get any work done, all right? All right, you just, you dominate the line of scrimmage, but you knew our cadence like the back of your hand. Hey, you pissed me off so bad, man, all right? But let me ask you this. Between Tom Brady, all right, and Aaron Rodgers, all right, you're lining up, your hands in the dirt, he's under center, he's barking out his cadence. Who's got a better cadence? Because I know you're a guy that loves to get a jump on the count now.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's probably Aaron, because see, Tom. The thing with Tom, he's not trying to get you with a hard count. Like, Tom doesn't care if you coming or not, because he already know where he's going with the ball. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like Tom is like, for him, it's like he comes up, he might give you a hard count. But then when you see him pointing, IDing, hey, 54's it, Mike, some this way, some this way, it's like, all right. At this point, I don't even care if I beat the snap, because I'm not, like, he going to get the ball off in like 2.1 seconds. So it doesn't matter. Now, Aaron, he's like sneaky. That's why I say him, because he'll come up, get under center. Like, he'll do this thing where he walks up all slow, looking around, gets under center, just say it, like, you don't even know. Yeah. So, like, he's, you can just tell by Aaron Rodgers, like, how he walks around and his swagger, that he can catch you with one of them, because he just saunters up to the line, not acting like he's not about to do anything, looking around, looking both ways, and then just goes right under center and catches you. Or then he'll do that and do the quick count and not snap it, and then you'd be like, man, I thought I was ready for it. So it goes both ways, but he's way more sneaky than Tom.
I mean, I'm telling you now, Khalen, though, just saying that alone, you've lined up straight across, 2 of the all-time greats right there at that position, that have ever played it. It's a pretty neat deal. Now, all right, I'm going to transition this over to some hoops. Now, a lot of people probably already know this, but some don't. All right, Khalen is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen. All right, and I think what did Coach Hanline call you, Kay? What was his nickname for you?
Oh, Fat Kyrie.
Fat Kyrie, right? You have handles of that basketball like Kyrie. But let me ask you this: have you played some hoops with some Chiefs? Who can play at your level? Have you been able to do any of that? Any pickup basketball games?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say definitely Tyrann Mathieu. He's a hooper for real. Let's see who else. Chris Jones. That's my dude. Me and Chris, like, we got a little hoop in the locker room, and we run 2s on it all the time. And me and Chris is like undefeated in there.
He's got some game, huh?
Yeah, he compliments me. That's what it is. Like, I think it's more so of him complimenting me, like, because he's a good pick and roll player. I like to handle the ball off the picks. So, he got that jump shot pull up when I need it, and then roll to the basket if I need. You know what I mean? So think we complement each other most. But definitely Tyron, Chris, Mike, Big Mike, number 64. He a good playmaker. We got who else? We got
So this is a thing, okay, in the Chiefs
oh,
and
yeah.
Chiefs organization. I mean, you guys
Oh yeah.
take a heck of a lot of pride in this now.
Oh no, it's serious. Like we got a hoop in our locker room, and it's like we be playing like when Beach comes down, we got to chill out because we don't want to get in no trouble. And then Pat, I don't even think Pat can play anymore. Like,
I'd keep him out of the pickup hoop games. All boys better be careful now.
Oh yeah, no, we keep it definitely at a slow pace. Like some game, like when Pat does play, we got a walking pace. So like you can't run. Like even on a back cut, you gotta like power walk. And that's one of the that's one of the ways we keep it safe with whenever Pat gets in for sure. But it can get real, you know what I mean? Like when it's all D linemen and stuff like that, man, we be going at it. We be trying to win,
No doubt.
But yeah, no, there's a few people on there. I think like Pat good, and he don't be getting to play, but he's good. Tyron, Tyreek Hill, like pretty much all the receivers. That's just a receiver thing to be good at basketball. Yeah, shoot, it's a bunch of good people on there.
Yeah, love it. Amy, I'm going to turn it over to you, see if there's any questions for Khalen or.
We've got a whole bunch, so I'm going to try to combine a few of them. Of course, somebody wants to see the bling, so that's not really a question. So I'm sure there's a Super Bowl ring sitting around there, maybe somewhere. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Khalen, where are you hiding the hardware, man?
We actually haven't even gotten it yet because of all of this stuff going on. Like we literally haven't even got in to get the ring sizes yet. So
yeah.
I know they're coming, but I'm just as antsy as you guys, man. I've been waiting.
You've been fitted though.
No, we so you have an option to get fitted before or after the game. And I think the 49ers got fitted before the game, and we were going to wait till after, but then, all of this stuff started happening. And I think right around the time we're supposed to like come back together and get fitted, and all of this stuff started happening. So, I don't know the timeline of it.
Right.
I don't know when we're going to get it, but at least I know we're getting it.
So we had a kind of a similar question. What was it like the first time you ran out on Hanson Field, and what was it like the first time you ran out at Arrowhead Stadium? And then also, what's it like? Let's see here. What's it like? I want to know how Andy Reid is as a coach. He seems to be such a fantastic mentor.
Yeah. So the first one, I'll say, coming out to Hanson compared to Arrowhead, obviously there's the bigger dynamics of it and the noise, but coming out to Hanson is just a different feeling because it's somewhere where, like I said, you have guaranteed football left to play. So, there's a different feeling like coming out to, somewhere where it's your home, coming out somewhere where it's like, these aren't fans who don't know me. These are my classmates. These are parents of some of my closest friends, stuff like that. So it's almost like a homey feeling more compared to coming out of Arrowhead. It's like a rock stadium, like a rock concert, like coming out, and it's just loud, cannon, smoke, all of that type of stuff. And for my player type though, like because Coach Elliott, how I am before a game, I'm the calm, collected. I'm not. Sean, on the other hand, Sean is
she's got blood ripping down the forehead from headbutting everybody.
So I think coming out of NFL stadium helps Sean get amped up compared to me. It gets me amped up, but I can come out anywhere and I'm just calm and collected because that's my player type. But that was it's obviously different. It's a big difference, but it's all of the same as far as just feeling of being ready to play a game and loving what you do and stuff like that. Oh, and then what was the second question?
Coach Reid. Coach Reed?
Oh yeah, Coach Reed. Coach Reed. Oh yeah. No, that's obviously I haven't had another head coach in the NFL yet, but what I will say is that he's my favorite coach by far. Like as far as anybody, the only other coach that I've met in the NFL that was like seemed to have the same kind of demeanor and like calmness and coolness about him is the Seahawks coach. He was real, he was Pete Carroll. He was real calm and laid back, and he's silly. Like I think last year's draft was the one where he took off his shirt with DK Metcalf and stuff like that. So like he one of those cool type of guys too. But I don't really, I couldn't imagine playing for another coach in this league because he's a player's coach, one, and two, he's a very experienced. He knows what he's doing. Been on a bunch of different teams and. Not a bunch of different teams, but coached on different teams throughout a bunch of different years, and brought success to him. And he's regarded as like the offensive mastermind of the NFL. And it's just fun. I mean, it's fun. Like honestly, he jokes with us all the time and all that type of stuff. But it's fun playing against that offense. Like when we're at practice and getting to play against that his offensive scheme with these playmakers in it. It's almost like you'll get stuck sometimes just looking at the play like. I wouldn't even know how to draw that up. And, he'll have like McCole and Tyreek going motions on two different counts just to throw a tight end screen to Travis Kelce up the middle of the field. And it's like I wouldn't even have thought of that type of stuff. So, I love watching him work and playing for him for sure.
Hey, I love that he's a true football guy, Kay.
Yeah.
He's a glitz and glamour guy, man. He's got his Hawaiian shirt, rack of ribs.
I'm sure.
He is what he is.
Yeah, right. He is what he doesn't. Yeah, he wears the same thing to coach every day. He wears Air Force Ones with AR on the back of them. And that's just that.
Love it.
Another question. I'm sure it was planned, but the question is, was it a planned thing to wear your Western jacket on the Super Bowl parade? Because we sure all loved it.
So you know what? It actually wasn't planned like a long time before. I was thinking of what I was gonna wear, and so I would say it was planned like maybe a day or two before because I was just going through, and obviously it was cold at the time, so I was like trying to think of what I can wear without getting sick because it's all fun and games until you come home and your throat hurting and all of that. So I was trying to think of like a warm outfit and also something that I can wear that was something I wanted to wear. And I was looking through my closet and I was like, oh yeah, this Letterman warm. I actually remember I was just telling my wife a couple days ago like how it was a sneaky warm jacket. Like it was one of them insulating jackets that's like you can't even tell it's that warm. So I was wearing that. I put that on and then it just turned out to be, the look. I love that picture I got from me celebrating with the fans. And having that jacket on, like, that's one of those iconic pictures that I'm always remember. And I'm happy that, my other Western alumni like that. And I saw the love I was getting from all of the alumni and the team as well. And, that's something I always, I'm always repping Western
No doubt.
no matter what. That's what I do.
Yeah.
What do you miss most about Western?
I want to get some lip fries. Some lip fries and some Jill Sosamos. But I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work out. So maybe one of my alumni friends can travel from Western to Kansas. But
I'm about to say we got to find a way, Kay.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for a little bit, but no, it's just been fun. Like the times I actually, still keep up with some of my teammates, and we were just talking about it the other day, just like I guess how it feels to, have your own house and have all your buddies come over and stuff like that. Those are feelings like where, you'll never forget. Obviously we can all have our own houses now, but we got to travel all far to get to them. And just the feeling of, having, Western is not a huge campus. So just the feeling of having, a bunch of teammates with their own houses and all getting go over there, play the games together, relax and stuff like that. That's one of the things I miss most from Western, and just being able to everybody call together and be like, hey, I want to go play basketball at the rec. Stuff like that is what I miss the most for sure.
We have two separate questions, but they're for both of you. One is, what was each of your favorite food growing up? And the other one, what was your favorite football team?
My favorite food? I don't think I had a favorite food. I don't.
I can say this, but hey, Khalen ate it all. Hey, Emo's Pizza, okay? Hey, your mom, I know Mama Kim probably ground that up, put it in your bottle. Emo's Pizza.
Yeah, you definitely got a point there. My St. Louis cuisine, I call it.
That's right.
My Chinese food. Those are things that will never be replaced. I don't care what pandemic is going on. I'm still gonna have to eat Chinese food. Like that's just what I was raised on.
See, I'm a meat and potatoes guy. That's what I kind of, you give me a steak even when I was young, steak and potatoes, and I'm good to go. Favorite team for me, I don't know. I never really, I guess, followed. I played it all when I was a kid. I played all sports, and
Yeah.
And, I liked a bunch of players, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I ever had really a favorite team. What about you, Kay? You're a Chiefs guy.
Yeah. I'm the same way as you. Like I just from playing so many sports and also like just loving players. I never really had like just a team who I was like, this is my go-to team. Obviously, when the Rams were there, me liking football the most out of the sports I played, I would watch them a lot, and especially when Aaron Donald got there, I would watch them a lot. So I would probably say the Rams were, the team that I rooted for the most. But I also like the Seahawks for a while, the Chiefs I was watching growing up too. So it was just like, like you said, I had those teams I was just watching kind of growing up. And it's not so much like some people just have diehard fandoms, like going back to Sean, like he's a Green Bay fan through. Me, I've never been like just a true fan of a team, just as a whole.
Yeah. So, Colin, I just got a question text to me here. All right. It says, why is Mick Nelson the greatest defensive lineman you've ever played alongside? and Colin, that is from Mick Nelson, just so you know.
Of course. An anonymous attendee. And
that's course, right.
Oh, Mick, man.
So I thought we'd give a quick shout out to Mick Nelson.
Shout out to Mick, man. My boy. No, for real, man. Mick know what it was. He used to take on them double teams for me, and I couldn't. That's all I needed.
hey, you put Mick in the B gap, and you stay in the B gap.
Right. That's all you need. Mick is the type of dude he'll look over his shoulder while taking on the double team, like it did. Tackle yet? Like, oh, okay, I'm good to go.
Love Mick. Mick's a true Leatherneck now.
Yeah, that's my dude right there, man. We talk still to this day, so shout out my brother Mick, man.
All right, Amy. Anything else?
All right. This is for Colin. What was the best environment you played in this past year? I know you mentioned, especially the first game when you ran out on the field, but the best environment you played in this past year besides obviously the Super Bowl. And then Coach Elliott, best environment you've taken the Leathernecks into.
The best environment I feel like I've played in was anytime we play at home, really. I mean, like people don't really realize that our fans affect the game tremendously. When we're on defense and they're going crazy and the offense can't hear themselves, that affects the game. And then when we're on offense and they know, like I would say we have really smart fans. Like, they know when to be loud and when to be quiet. Like when our team gets close to the red zone, they calm it down until we score, which, you're supposed to do. And then like when we're on defense, man, there's been times where guys are screaming, like legit screaming, and can't get the call out to the receiver because it's so loud. So, anytime we play at Arrowhead, especially in the playoffs, I would say those were the best environments I think I've ever played in.
Yeah. All right, and for me, Colin, we played in some good stadiums, here at Western, and,
Sure.
and I've coached and played in others when I wasn't here, and but I'll say this, that, a lot of people don't understand the Missouri Valley Conference, and especially like North Dakota State and the Fargo Dome, and even UNI, like Colin, when we
Yeah.
beat UNI, what was that in 2000?
17. Yeah.
Yeah, and 17 there. I mean, that was an elite atmosphere,
Yeah.
compared to some of the, Power Five stadiums we've been in and I've been to, and I'm sure it's even somewhat comparable, just on a smaller scale to even some of the NFL. But that
Yeah.
noise level's trapped in those domes. Like you
Right.
go to the Fargo Dome and there's, 35,000 people in there, but it feels like 100,
Right.
the noise level. So, our conference, the Missouri Valley, is unique in that way. We've got three domes with the
Yeah.
Florida Dome, the Unidome, the Dakota Dome that South Dakota plays in, and now North Dakota's joining the conference, and they have a dome. That adds a very unique. But Colin, you remember those Fargo Dome
Oh,
games?
yeah. Yeah, that was the first time I ever heard a cannon shot off indoors.
Yeah,
Yeah, crazy. But I
yeah,
think that game in the at UNI, that was one of the craziest games too. I completely agree with that. Like, there's nothing like being in that dome, and it's beautiful because like in the Dakotas or in that part of Iowa, there's nothing else going on besides football at that time.
yeah.
So they got everybody in the town in there, and them just shaking their keys and stuff, like
That's right.
stomping on the bleachers and all that type of stuff. Man, like, I agree. It was a
Yeah.
unique experience. Like,
Yeah.
it was just as loud almost.
Yeah, and it makes it fun. That's what college football and NFL. That's what football's all about. Those atmospheres when you're on the road and or at home when you got your fans behind you on defense. That's what makes it great.
Yeah, for sure. But let's see. I'm
What do
looking.
you, what's your projection for, what do you think about the Chiefs having another successful year in 2020, or how you think COVID might affect that, especially fans wise?
Yeah. I think I mean, like I was just telling Coach earlier, we haven't really lost any pieces. So unless something crazy happens around the league to where some team just becomes a powerhouse, I think we got a good shot at getting right back to where we were. Because like I said, we got all the important pieces back in place, and then the like guys like myself who were, I wouldn't say I was just one of the most essential pieces, but guys like myself who where I got experience to add to become an important piece. I think that is going to be very helpful. Like, guys like myself, like Derek Nottie, like Mike Pinnell. We all kind of were playing rotationally, but all of us were getting experience. At the time. So I think we got a real good shot to getting right back to where we were. And then for the fan base, I know it won't affect the Chiefs fan base. Like, it won't affect them, making them not be fans. So really, we'll just have to see which direction the NFL goes in as far as like if they're letting fans back into the stadiums or not. That's really the biggest thing, the biggest challenge we'll have to face. Because like I said, the fans aren't going anywhere. There's no the virus that's going around. It's not affecting people's idea about their team. So I think that once this stuff is over with, if they're allowing fans back, it probably will be even a bigger turnout because people are so ready to get back out there.
One for Coach, I'm going to ask two questions. One for Coach Elliott. How difficult will it be this year with having no spring ball while we're realizing all the teams are in the same boat? And then for Khalen, who's your closest friend on the Chiefs?
I'll start. I think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be, it's all uncharted, really for us. We're whenever we do get the green light or the exact date on when we're able to return to play, bring our kids back, whenever that is and whatever that ends up looking like, it's going to be a shorter period of time than what it typically is. The good thing is that everybody's in the same boat. And so it is going to be a level playing field and equal in terms of, hey, if you've got 6 weeks to get ready to play in your opening game, then you know that your opponents are kind of in that same situation. But I do think that it's going to create more difficulty in adding your newcomers, and just, there's such a process to, not only guys just kind of figuring out and learning, how you do things on a daily basis in your program, but that your philosophy of who we are and what we're about, our scheme, X's and O's, but then the relationship element that I think is so important. All of that is going to be, really condensed into a shorter period of time with all of our, your newer transfers you're bringing in, or your incoming freshmen, high school guys. And so I do think that there's going to be a lot of more of a unique, time that we're going to have to figure out creative ways to expedite the process of getting a team ready to play. And we've got a bunch of different thoughts and kind of plans already in place for all the scenarios that can happen. If we can come back in June or July, or if it's August, whenever it might be, I think you just, it's our job right now to let the, I'm not a doctor, I'm a football coach, but letting the doctors and the people that have all that information figure out what's best for the health and safety and well-being of our players. But then it's our job to have a plan in place for what all those different scenarios might be. And so, our strength staff is doing a great job. I think that's a lot of it is making sure, and I know, Khalen, I'm sure it's the same for you guys, is that whenever you are able to come back, it's not rushing your players right back into playing right away. There's got to be that acclimation phase of making sure your players are in shape and well conditioned, where we're not putting them at any more risk of injury by just jumping right into a grueling football season. So there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to have to kind of figure out as we go, but having a plan in place for all the situations but it will be unique, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Colin's closest friend on the Chiefs?
Well, I think just in general, being around the defense a lot, compared to being around the offense, all my closest friends are just throughout the defense. We're a unit. We spend a lot of time together, especially the D-line, like Frank Clark and Chris Jones. Those are like two of my closest friends, and they it became a relationship from them kind of taking me in and wanting to teach me, the ways of being a professional, and then just developing into a really thorough friendship. And, Chris always comes over to my house. We play the game, play 2K all the time. We had so Chris is kind of like a superstitious type of dude. So, throughout the season, we literally had to play 2K on, Thursday every week. And he had to come to my house every week on Thursday so we can play the game against each other, or else he wouldn't feel like he was going to have a good game. So, that's one of the stories. But then, just the D-line in general, I mean, Chris, Frank, Derek Noddy, Mike Pennell, all those guys that, were on the D-line, we would always get together at Frank's house and go over film and just relax and stuff like that. Frank obviously got a huge little basement and set up area, stuff like that. So he would invite us all over all the time, and we would go over there and relax. And but outside of the D-line room, I still talk to a lot of my teammates, and I think another one's Tyrann Mathieu. Man, he's one of the coolest guys and most down-to-earth guys I ever met. He obviously, a lot of people know him as the Honey Badger, and you hear that name, you think of like a celebrity and all of that type of stuff. But when you get to meet him, man, he's one of the coolest dudes ever. He's not one of those guys you would hear the name and think that he acts accordingly. He doesn't act, the way people might think he would act. So, I'm thankful to be around, like I said, greatness like that every day, man. Every day I'm in a meeting room, I'm surrounded by these guys who have, had crazy careers in the league and are probably Hall of Fame players and stuff like that. And so, that as far as just my closest friends in there, I would definitely say everybody along that D line, I hang out with a lot. And then Tyrann, I hang out with a lot. You know, a lot of the DBs and stuff. Like it's a family in the locker room.
As you both know, Brad can't turn his phone on or we'll have feedback. So he's going to ask you his question that he wanted to submit.
Well, first of all, actually, I got 3 or 4. So
Oh, okay.
first of all, Khalen, as an old Leatherneck, but from the basketball side of things, next time you're back, you and I will have to go to the hard court and go at it a little bit. So
See,
might have to be a horse, but at least we'll have it. But also as an old Leatherneck basketball player, I was I was pulling for you anyway in the Super Bowl, but you know that quarterback on the other team was from school across the state that I really hate, called Eastern Illinois. So I really wanted us to win. So Western took bragging rights. So very happy of that too. And my last one is being an old Leatherneck. I was a Leatherneck before Coach Randy Ball was the head coach of Western. What's your interaction been with Coach Ball?
oh man, I love that old dude there. he's a real genuine guy, man. He always comes to me personally, because just our connection, obviously being from Western, and he comes to me personally, like letting me know, what they're saying in the front office, and not in the front office as far as like transaction or anything, but just what they want me to work on so that I can start working on it before anybody even tells me. And, I really love him for that reason and respect him. Even, after the season, he came to me personally and was like, I want you to focus on this and this and this. And coming from a guy who, like you said, was a tremendous coach throughout Western, and now he's with the Chiefs, I take heed to that, and I take, I really take that importantly because, he knows what he's talking about, and I respect him. And man, but outside of coaching, he's just a great guy. Real down to earth. We always talk about Western and talking about how we're, the brothers in the building, and we, it's like we have our little secret Western meetings, and it's real funny.
Well, you tell him Brad and Amy said hi, and just a couple other things. I don't think we could downplay what all of us who are Western grads felt when you wore the Leatherneck jacket in the parade. That was tremendous, and so I thank you for that. As you said, you're always repping Western, but that really hit a chord across the whole Leatherneck nation when you did that. So we appreciate that. My last question for you is, how's your family and what's it like being a father?
Oh man, it's been crazy. My daughter now is going through what y'all call it? The baby teenager phase. So she's been acting out of pocket lately. But it's beautiful, man. It's just like I was telling actually my friends, they were like, who we think is gonna be the next to have a kid. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I'll probably have another one before y'all have one. It's fun, man. Being a dad is just it's crazy to watch them grow and watch them learn things, like just the little things you watch them learn. You feel like you made a success because she can walk better, or like know how to pick something small up off the floor, some stuff like that. It's just amazing. And then as far as being a husband, and that's been amazing. I have my mother-in-law and my mom staying with me, and they help out with the baby, so my wife and I can get out and go on dates and stuff like that. So I'm just thankful, man. My situation is amazing, and I know that a lot of people don't get to go through the things that I'm going through, and they don't get to experience like I said, having live-in grandmothers and being able to kind of do whatever you want, stuff like that. I actually have my family in the room with me.
Oh.
Kind of tight in here.
There they are. That's a great looking family.
The baby's taking a nap right now.
You need it.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us. And, again, as I said to you before we came on, Khalen, we're very proud of you at Western and pulling for you. And we hope you have a great season again this year.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, let's throw it back to the two of you, if you both want to just share a few closing remarks, and then we'll hang her up.
Well, I'll just kind of echo what Khalen and I started off saying, and I know we're all in a situation right now that is kind of unique and obviously very challenging. But everyone, we encourage you guys to stay home and stay safe and be with your loved ones and stay together and stay connected. I think it's important. I think Khalen said it, doing stuff like this. You know, Khalen is dear and special to me and my family, and to the Leatherneck football family, what he's done for us and our entire university, and just being able to see him and see that big grin and man, we miss you and we love you, Kay, and but just staying connected like this is so important, and so we encourage everyone to do that, and again, stay safe, stay at home, and anything that anyone needs, reach out to a fellow Leatherneck, and I'm sure they'll be willing to help.
No doubt. Yeah, I agree. Like you said, just these type of events, you know, they're very special, and especially with the Leatherneck community being able to get together, because, you know, just doing this as a Chiefs football player, you know, I might get called out to random venues and be like, hey, can you do this for, you know, this cause? But doing it for other alumni of the school I went to, you know, that's very special, and you know, I take pride in doing that type of stuff. Oh man, hand me that. I was going to show them my Super Bowl. And I got this. I ain't got the ring yet, but I had to bring this home. the live.
Beautiful.
Man,
Turn that thing around. There you go, Kay. Oh, that's beautiful, man.
then also, this is one of the things that Coach Reed had put in each of our jerseys. Be great.
Be great.
That's his saying. You know, he always want to make sure that we know that we got potential beyond measure, and you know, that's one of the things I want to show the Leatherneck community and other alumni, you know, of the school.
Man, that is awesome. Hey, Amy, I can just say real quickly from all of us just how proud we are of Khalen and how much we're behind you, and love you, brother.
Love you. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Continue
it.
to be great, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Farewell, thank you, and go Leathernecks.
Go next.
Go next.